All right, y'all, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in this week. Today, we're going to be taking a break from the tiny camper build. I think we're on episode 7 or 8 of that thing, and it's coming along great. We've got the tent permanently mounted. We've got 90% of the wiring done. We've got to install batteries and stuff this week. I'm waiting on a few things to come in, and plus it's super cold out there, and it gives me a chance to do some upgrades to the Tacoma. So if you're familiar with the channel, I got the Tacoma in here, and as you can see, it fits because I don't have my banger and my tent on the top right now. If those were on here, I wouldn't be able to do this inside today. I'm running the Diamondback this winter so that I can park inside, and it gives me the opportunity to go ahead and do these upgrades inside where we're not freezing to death out there trying to get this done. I'm doing 2 major upgrades to this. For the past 2 years, I believe, I have been running the Wolfbox 900 Pro. It's the dual camera. It's got the front camera and the rear camera. That thing is awesome. I've got a video where we installed it a couple years back. Definitely check it out. Today I'm going to be upgrading that camera though. They come out with a new G900 TriPro. This is from Wolfbox, and everything in today's video will be linked below. And today we're going to be installing this. I'm going to be taking out the 900 Pro, probably going to end up putting that one in the Chevy build, and we're going to put this TriPro. And the reason I want to do this is because it's got several upgrades and advantages over the regular Pro. Tri is in the name, so you already know this thing has 3 cameras instead of just 2. So you've got your front camera that faces forward right off the back of the actual mirror, and that's your main dash cam that sees the whole view that you see from the driver's seat. This one comes with the rear camera just like the regular 900, so you can see everything behind you right on your rear view mirror, and you can even do a split screen and swipe through them, and I'll show you all the functions once it's installed. But this one has a 3rd camera, and it's designed to be a bumper cam. So this camera we're going to install in the front grille of the Tacoma somewhere, and it gives you a really good advantage, and I've been needing to do this for some time now, but it gives you a good advantage of being able to see directly in front of you. So if you're trail riding, or if you're out in the woods or whatever, you're at a boat ramp and you need to look directly in front of the vehicle and see what's there, instead of getting out and walking around, you can just swipe your dash cam on your mirror and look at the camera aimed straight down in the front, and I should be able to see everything all the way up to the bumper with that thing. So it's going to be pretty cool. There's a lot of cool features in this. It's got GPS, it's got voice activating, it's got a upgraded app so you can view everything from your phone, and they actually doubled the processing speed for the app cam now, or more than doubled from the last one. So it's really quick on the Wolfbox app. So we'll go through all that once we get it installed. The second thing we're going to be installing is their newest product, and this product is so new that as of right now, as of me filming this, it's not even on their website yet. I'm really not sure if I'm supposed to be filming this, but I was told in the email from them, they sent it out, they wanted me to test it and let them know my thoughts, and then the last email I got was, hey, you want to go ahead and do an install of both of them at the same time with the TriPro. So I said yes, but then I checked the website to get some more features and stuff of this thing, and it's not there yet. So hopefully by the time you guys see this video, I'll have it linked in the video description. No matter what, once it hits the market, if it's not released, at the time, I will add the link below. This thing is super cool. This is called the Off-Road High Performance Twin Air Compressor, and it's the Hyperflow X. And I've been reading up on it a little bit. It comes with all kind of cool stuff. What it basically is it's a really high-grade air compressor, low profile, that you mount in your vehicle, in your Jeep, in your truck, or whatever. They've actually got some Jeep mounts already out there, I believe, and available for this. So when it does come out, you'll be able to mount it directly up under your hood, I think, with the Jeep. The Tacoma mounts, I haven't found any yet, but I really wasn't going to mount this under my hood anyway. As most of you guys know, I run a battery and a power pack in the bed of my truck. I've got it kind of built out, and you'll see in a minute. And that's where we're going to run this. We're going to connect this instead of my car battery like most people would. We're going to tie this into my rear power in the back, and we're going to have onboard air. And this isn't like one of your little cheap air compressors, like a little DeWalt air compressor. This is a 150 PSI twin air compressor. This is the real deal. This is not just something that you would inflate your bicycle tires with or anything, which you could, but this thing is really good. Matter of fact, I was reading the specs a while ago, and I was kind of impressed. So this is 150 PSI out pressure. The flow rate is 40 psi at 13.8 volts, so it runs off of a 12-volt battery. The inflation time from 15 to 30 psi for a 33-inch tire by 12.5 is 66 seconds. So it will inflate a 33-inch tire to full tire pressure in just over a minute, which is kind of crazy. We're going to test this out once we get it installed, and it comes with everything you need in this kit to install it anywhere you want to install it. It comes with a really nice wire loom, wire system, plug and play, waterproof, dustproof connections. It even comes with the switch that you will mount inside your vehicle or under the hood, wherever you wanted to mount this switch. But it's the same style switch that's in the Tacomas, where you pop out the little area and you pop this in, and you've got a switch directly to your air compressor. Comes with all your mounting hardware, and then you also get this bag right here, which was really neat. You don't have to go out and buy everything you need to be able to air stuff up. It comes with everything. It comes with your air nozzle, just like the one you would have in your shop. Little pump needles, so you can blow up footballs and basketballs, soccer balls, or whatever. It comes with a really nice tire gauge. You can actually fill it, and this is the lock on, so you can actually plug it on. You don't have to sit and hold it on your tire. You snap it on and you dial it into the pressure you want and snap it off. It comes with extra air filters for the side. Like I said, this is a twin cylinder, so there's 2 filters in this. And then it comes with a really nice, also a carrying bag for all this, but it comes with a really nice rubber coiled air line. And this thing is super long. I think that when we get this thing hooked up in the back of the truck, this will coil out and reach all 4 tires on my truck. And the reason I want to put it in the back is also for, like, I tow a lot of trailers, as you know, kayak trailers, boat trailers, camper trailers, utility trailers. And if I ever have a flat or something on a trailer, I got to air it up, whatever, on the side of the road, I'll have a compressor in the back of the truck that this should stretch all the way back to either side of the trailer that I'm towing and be able to access the back of it. So that's pretty cool. And everything is just a push of a button. I think first, before we get into the air compressor, let's go ahead and upgrade to this TriPro that I've got right here. We'll upgrade from our regular Wolfbox 900 Pro and get this bad boy installed. I got to figure out where I'm going to put the bumper cam, the rear cam. Right now, I don't even have my rear cam on because I keep it mounted to my Banger camper shell right on the top. So when I pulled my camper shell, I just unplugged my rear cam, and this one we're going to actually put on the rear of the truck. All right, the G900 TriPro. I cheated a little bit. I did print off the new features for this thing. There's so many, I couldn't really remember every detail, and I wanted to make sure that I shared it with you. So the main differences between this and the regular dash cam that they had, the regular 900 Pro, this one has 3 channels. So it's got the front camera, which is 4K, the rear camera, which is 2.5K, and then the front bumper cam that we're going to be adding is a 1080p bumper cam, which is going to be perfect for the front area of the truck. All 3 cameras support HDR recording, which is really cool. So if you're in an accident, somebody tries to break into your vehicle, you have all 3 camera angles. So you're going to have a camera on the back, camera on the dash, and a camera on the front bumper that you can record every bit of it and have, separate clips and separate pieces of footage to be able to provide to your insurance or your, the police officers or whatever. If something happens, you have that capability. The 5.8 gigahertz transferring for the new mobile. So it's an upgrade from the 2.4, which was the old version for the app, which means it was delayed just a little bit when you were trying to access the stuff. No, it was still great. It still functions just fine, but they actually upgraded that on this one. They over doubled the speed. So now the app works seamlessly with this camera. You can actually tie into this near your, truck or your car, wherever you got this new system in, and you actually access the cameras right on your phone, which is really cool. And you can actually swipe, and this one does it too, the regular one. You can reach up and swipe your actual mirror and change the cameras. So you can go from the front view, the rear view, the bumper view, and then if I swipe again, it will actually split them, and I'll have all 3 cameras on one screen. It's got GPS on this thing. It'll show your speed. It does everything. This thing is super cool. So let's get it installed. See what all's in the box really quick. I'm glad we're not doing this outside because it is cold out there this week. Their packaging is really well too. It's got a little diagram even on the piece of paper that it sits on top of, and man, These are super nice. Look at the packaging, first of all, how this comes. It's a nice big mirror. And what's neat is if you don't want to run, like for example, right now I'm not running the rear camera because like I said, it's mounted to the top of my camper shell. My camper shell, as you can see, is off my truck. So I don't have that rear camera. Well, the main reason I use that rear camera is because the camper shell's on my truck and I can't see through it just out of a regular mirror. The camera gives me a great visual behind me when I'm towing stuff and I can see in traffic. Well, when it's off, all you have to do is reach up and hit a button. There's a button right on the bottom of this, and it turns the cameras off, and this turns into a regular mirror. And that's what I use, especially like in the mornings on the way to work. Instead of having, a screen right there, I just reach up and turn it off, and I've got a regular mirror. I can see out the back glass. It just works great, and it's much bigger than your factory mirror. Here's the back side of it. This thing actually comes with the clips already on it. I do believe that we're going to be, hopefully that I can attach this to my other mount that I got in there. But if not, it actually just straps over your regular mirror. And the strap, everything's provided in here to get this thing installed. That is a huge, huge mirror for your truck. I figured I'd show you before we go installing this one how it actually comes in the packaging. And I want to hold it up and see the difference between this one and the one we got in there, because I'm hoping that I can mount it the same way I've got it mounted. You can mount these in 3 different ways, I believe. And their best way for me that I like is you can get their actual, let's see if I can spin this around. You can get their actual mount that bolts onto the back. And you can see how it bolts on right there. And it looks like it's going to be the same as the original one that I had. It may be slightly bigger. Hopefully the mount works. We're going to hope and see, but if not, it'll actually just strap over this one, or it'll strap over my factory rearview mirror, which I've got put up. But hopefully I can still utilize their mount. We're going to find out today, and if it does work, and one of you guys are watching this and you've already got this one and you're fixing to upgrade to the new TriPro to add that 3rd camera, you'll know that your camera mount or your mirror mount will actually work. So let me get this thing all unboxed, get everything situated, and I think we're going to get it mounted, and then we're going to figure out where the cameras are actually going to go. I do have a little accessory pack from them. There's the barcode on it if you wanted to check it out, or the UR code or whatever that's called. These are just extra. It's like a kit for installing these cameras. They've got all kind of stuff on their website, so you can get extensions. So if you're wanting to run your camera really far, if you've got a long truck or a van or something, you're trying to get a longer wire, you can actually get extension cables for their cameras. But the cables are pretty long. Let's see if I can pull one out of the box really quick and show you. I mean, you can see right there, there's one of the camera cables. That is super long, and it comes in this nice wire loom, so you can actually run it under your vehicle without it worrying about getting it damaged. Power cords are super long. It even comes with a cigarette lighter port or a 12-volt plug. There's one of the cameras there. So if you don't want to straight wire it, you can actually just pop this into a power port in your vehicle. And I pulled that screw out. Now it should just slip off just like that. You can see how nice this thing actually acts as a mirror. See my reflection there? And so if you're not using it as a camera, it still works just fine as a mirror. That thing is awesome. Look, you can watch Major League Fishing behind me. Jacob Wheeler has been climbing the ladder this morning. He's catching some tanks out there at Gunnersville. But now, let's see if my same mount works. It looks like it's the same size. This is the one in my hand is the Wolfbox 900 Pro. This is the TriPro. Hopefully, the mount that I have here is the same, and you can see it here better now. This is the mount option that you can get. Now, it comes with the straps, like I said. These straps actually go around these clips that are already mounted back here. See these 4 clips? And those straps hook onto it, and they go around the back of your factory mirror. So if you don't want to take off your factory mirror, you can just strap this to the front of it, and it works just fine that way. You can just strap it right up there. But if you want a cleaner look, go with their mount, and it looks like a factory mirror in your vehicle. And I'm really hoping that this mount works on this one. Hopefully those are the same size. Let's set them side by side. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work. All right, it worked. Now, We have the new mount on the new camera. Look how clean that looks with that mount. I really do recommend, if you're going to put one of these in your vehicle, if it's going to be a permanent thing, if you are going to leave it up there and you're going to use this thing and you're going to hide all your wires and do it, you know, pretty permanent, go with that mount. That mount, it makes it look factory. The straps are cool if you want to use the straps over your mirror, because you don't want to do all that, you know, running and hiding wires and everything. You just want to temporarily use it. You can use the straps, but man, that looks so much cleaner. We're going to figure out where to mount this. It should hide really good behind the grill. I don't want it sticking out. I don't want you to be able to see a camera there. So I am probably going to have to get behind that grill to mount this. Hopefully not pull the whole grill out. But we're going to find where we're going to hide this. And I do like how they do their wires. So you see how thin the connector is on this. That's the actual connector right here. And they do that so that when you're plugging your connectors together and you're pulling your wires around, you can actually fit it through small holes. You don't have to drill, you know, a big hole somewhere to get the connector through just to have a little skinny wire behind it. They make their connectors super thin, and they make it so it disconnects at the camera. So you don't have to feed the camera, you know, through these areas already hooked up. You mount your camera where you want it, and then you run your wire to the camera, which works really well. So let me pop the hood. I'm gonna do some looking, do some figuring, figure out where we're gonna mount this, and we're gonna see how good it works. All right, that didn't take too long at all, and I did end up using all the new wires. I went ahead and pulled my other wires, boxed them up with my other one, so when I install it into the Chevy, I'll use the same wires. But I want to show you how this turned out. I actually took the time to put a little shine on my plastic. I picked up some stuff. It did pretty good. I shined up all the black. I hadn't done it in forever because my truck's been outside for so long, but I want to show you how it turned out. The front camera, as you can see, I hid it, and you can't see it from the outside, but it's actually mounted right there. If you look right in that middle of the grill, I've got it mounted and hanging. All the wires are ran and hidden. The rear camera, I use the provided tag bracket, and it is mounted right here above the tag. Now, the Tacoma also has its own rear camera that's in the radio, but this is going to be an additional camera, and it's going to come in handy for when I'm hooking boats up or the trailers up to the ball hitch. I did go ahead and wire up the reverse wire. So that red wire that I talked about, all you got to do is it comes from the plug back here, and it's long enough where you tie it into your reverse on one of your rear tail lights. So I did that. And now I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. I can't crank the truck down here, but I can go ahead. I've got to clean out this thing too. It's filthy. I'll probably do that while I've got it in here this week. And here it is mounted. You can see all the wires are hid. The tool that they give you is like a little plastic pry tool. You just pull back a little bit. All the wires tuck up. They run all the way over here to the, I think that's called the A-pillar. And everything's ran down through the hood, nice and clean. And now I'll hit the accessory button, and it should boot right up. You can see the mirror works great. So that's what it looks like if you just want to use the mirror, which you can see straight out the back window with it, just like a regular mirror. And it's huge. It's actually way bigger than a factory. So this is what it looks like when it boots up. And then this is my rear camera. This is the one I just showed you mounted onto the tag bracket. And you can actually touch the screen and pull the camera footage up and down like that. Now, if you want to look at the next screen, this is the one that's hidden in my grill. And I may change it a little bit in the future because you can kind of see that little bit of a grill there. But this camera is mainly for when I'm trying to see directly in front of my bumper, but you can still move it up and down. See how I can scroll? I can get it to go way up, and I can come back down with it. If you swipe one more time, this is the dash cam right here. This is the 4K cam, and you can see how dirty my window is. I gotta clean, look at that. I gotta clean my window. But that is that, and then you swipe one more time. Now we've got all three views, and it pulls it out, so it's a full view. As you can see, this is the full view of my grill camera or my bumper cam. This is my front dash cam, and this is the rear tag cam back there. And now you can touch one of them and pull up, or there it goes. And let's see if I can go all the way down. I can actually see the ball there. And let's say that I am in the regular front cam mode. I guess I do need to crank it for just a second to show you. So if you put it in reverse, I've got it where it immediately switches to the rear. I can have it where it's zoomed out normal. Like if I hit this button here, see it pulls it out, and it even gives the parking lines, and you can calibrate those parking lines by going to where you have it mounted. I have it mounted low, so I would want that there, but I've also got my rear cam for the factory that's in the tailgate. All right, let me turn this thing off because we are inside, but then when you turn it off, it just boots down. That beeping will drive me nuts. But then there's all kind of settings. You can connect it to the app. I've actually got the app downloaded, and it's really simple. There's the app right there when you open it up. Now, it's not going to connect right now because I've got the truck turned off, but it'll show your truck, and then when you click it, it'll immediately pull it up. You just got to make sure that it's connected. All right, good morning, guys. It is the next day. Today's the day we're going to get that compressor installed. I ended up spending a lot more time last night with that detailing stuff for the truck. Let me show you how this thing turned out. So I showed you already the black plastic on the outside, and I found some stuff, and this is the main reason I wanted to show you, so I guess I can share this with you. I found this on Amazon. It's VRP, vinyl, rubber, and plastic. It's interior and exterior, and it's like a UV protectant, so it really brings back the black plastic. But look, I did the inside last night. Let me go to the other side. You can probably see better on the other side. But man, I haven't seen my truck look like this. Now, obviously, the truck is filthy. You probably can't tell on camera because this color, it does pretty good when it's dirty. It still looks clean, but it is dirty. I haven't done anything to the actual paint, but look at the black in here. Look how clean this looks. That turned out awesome. I can't believe how it makes me want to clean the whole thing. Now, I haven't done the mats or the carpet or anything, but you can definitely tell. I mean, look at that door panel. That stuff does really good, and there's no like residue on it. I did it last night so that I could come down here today and you know, touch it to see if it left anything, and it didn't. This thing looks clean. This looks as clean as the day I got it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, this morning we are going to get this new Hyperflow X twin compressor from Wolfbox installed, and I think I got the perfect spot in the back of the truck. So last night while I was down here detailing the inside, I come back here and I kind of looked around to see where I would want to install this compressor in the back of my truck. And come to find out, this little cubby hole, you know, I built this a while back. I've got my drawer pull out here, and then I've got this tabletop that comes out with our cutting board on it up there. But I've got this little cubby hole that I've just been using to stick, you know, shoes and stuff like that, and nothing really important goes here. And I was like, man, it'd be cool if that compressor just actually fit that spot. And check this out. This is almost, I feel like this was meant to be. So I've got the compressor right here, and it fits. Look, that couldn't get any better, even with the wires in here. So the wires are going to be ran back, and they're going to plug up to my battery back here. But that fits, that was meant to be. I'm telling you, I built this like a year ago, so I had no idea that this was even going to exist, and it fits perfect. So that is exactly where we're going to put this thing. I'm just going to slide it in. It's a really snug fit, and I'm going to end up putting our switch, which I don't know if I gave you a good shot of it yesterday, but here is this switch that this comes with. See, it says air compressor, and it just clicks like that, and it's already got the connectors on here. Now, this is a short cable, so if you did plan on, you know, running this through, you know, from your hood inside, you would have to extend these wires out to plug on the back. But they're color coded, so this thing's kind of dummy proof. You can install this in probably 10 minutes if you wanted to, and I'm going to show you how fast we're going to plug it up, because I've actually got my battery pack back here. Now, if you're familiar with my setup, you know that this turns power on to my Banger camper shell in my rooftop tent. So this doesn't really do anything back here. That is only when I'm plugged up to my topper. But I've got this Anderson port right here that is plugged up to my main battery. I've got a 12-volt Power Queen battery back here in the back of the truck. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the provided power cable that this compressor comes with. As you can see, one end of the wire has this plug that plugs directly to the air compressor, just like that. Then this wire plugs to your switch. We're going to mount my switch right here so I can just walk back here and kick it on. And then all I've got to do, as for the wiring portion, those are just all plug and play, is I've got my back of the terminals right here. This has got 2 fuses on it that runs right here to your red wire, and then it's got your ground wire. I'm going to put an Anderson plug right here that plugs in right here, and I can just plug it up, slide the compressor in, mount my switch, and then we got a built-in air compressor on the back of this. So let me do that really quick. This shouldn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. I am going to fab up something really quick because I want this air compressor to have the switch that it comes with. I want to mount it right here because, you know, I've got my valve stem right here that airs up the airbags that we installed a few weeks ago on my truck, and that's going to be also another plus for me. So if I'm pulling my bass boat, I like to run a little bit more air pressure on my bags. I'm going to have a compressor right here so I can just air it up myself. I don't have to drive up to my garage or into my shop to hook an air tank to it. I can just air my bags up right here. So I want to put all of that right here, nice and neat, and then I'll have a switch that operates our air tank. And I'm going to do that. I found this little, I don't throw anything away, y'all know that. So I found this little piece of aluminum mount. I don't know what it went to, but I think I can cut it down perfectly to mount it right here. It should hide my switch really nice. And the switch is going to I'm going to cut a hole in this, mount it here, put the switch here, and then we're going to have an air tank in probably about 5 or 10 minutes. So let me knock this out, and we'll see how this thing works. All right, the new Hyperflow X from Wolfbox is installed. I've been cleaning my mess up. I made a mess making that bracket. That little aluminum piece that I showed you guys, it wasn't good enough, so I ended up making it out of a little metal bracket. But as you can see, we got our on and off switch right here. We can pull our cord out. I can stuff it right there on top of it for travel, and look how long this is. I can stretch this thing out. And also, I thought that it constantly would run when you turned it on. It's got a little fan to keep the motor cooled built in, but it only pumps or runs the air when you're using the air. So right now it's off and I had it on, and there's some air left in the tanks, but I turned it on. That's it. It's fully pressurized right now, and you can hear a slight fan. Let me get quiet so you guys can hear it. There is a fan, and that fan is just blowing air, I believe, across the motor to keep the motor cool. But when you use it, and that's it, kicks right back off. And it is just as strong. I mean, you see I just blew my rag everywhere. It's just as strong as my shop AC compressor. I think my shop AC compressor, my big one, I said AC compressor, my shop compressor is 150 psi as well. So this is just as strong. It's just a compact little pump, and this thing stretches. I'll be able to do the front tires. I know you can't see me. I'm past the front of the truck. Let me show you guys this up close really quick. This thing's cool as heck, but first let me hook up the dial gauge. And I do like the fittings. They're the quick connect, so you don't have to pull this collar back. You just push it on, and it locks it on there, and it's got a good seal, so you're not gonna have to worry about it leaking. And then I can just turn it off right there. But let's hook up this tire gauge really quick. They got a really good seal on these connectors. Let's see, I just push it, and it locks on. God, this thing's got so much power. Turn it back on. This thing is awesome. And I'll just throw the bag in the back of my truck, and I'll have everything I need. I'll probably just keep this hose connected. Let me show you guys up close. I can't believe how good this thing fit in the back of my truck in that little spot. Now, I'm not saying this is where it's going to live forever, but I think that's where it's going to live for quite a while until I redo the back of my truck again, because you guys know I'm always changing up my setups. But look at how long this thing is. And let's see, I can pull this out of the back of my truck. I'm now past the front of my truck with this, and there's still plenty of coal left in this thing, so I can easily do a trailer, I can do my truck, and I can cool it all back up. And I've got a built-in pump back here. Here's how clean this thing turned out on the button install, and you can't see it, but I ended up using a piece of angle metal. You can see I got paint all over my fingers still, where after I cut it, I painted it. But kick it on, hear the fan, and now if we use it, and it's just long, it'll run that compressor just long enough to fill these little tanks. That is cool as heck, man. This thing is going to be awesome. I'll be able to fit my accessory bag when I'm running this setup right in the back of my diamond bag. Right there. Now I've got everything on the truck that I would need in case of an emergency. So I'm going to be putting this thing through its paces this spring, this camping season, because I'm sure we're going to use this to air up our mattresses, you know, our air mattresses and our inflatable rafts and stuff like that. This is going to come in handy for that. So y'all stay tuned. I'm sure in an upcoming video, I'll update you guys on how I'm using this, or, you know, how it's doing. I think it's going to be an awesome addition to our setup. Definitely check out the links below. I've got the G900 Pro or TriPro link below. Y'all check it out. These are great, just not for overlanding. These are also great for security purposes. That's one of the main reasons I like this, is you can actually set it up for a G-shock. Like if somebody tries to break into your vehicle or you have a hard collision, it records and saves all of that. So it's a really good piece of security to have, and they work great. I love mine. This thing's going to be awesome. Y'all check the links out below. Good news is I think UPS is already ran today, so we got the stuff for our next couple of videos, I believe. We're going to be filming a video next on the camper. I've got everything, the underglow lights and everything is here to do that, so y'all stay tuned for that. And I'm fixing to pull my bass boat in here, the Nitro bass boat that we restored last year. I've got some cool upgrades I'm fixing to do to it. So I'm going to pull the truck out, pull the boat in, and then we're going to film some on the tiny camper build, get a couple episodes done with that, and then we're going to be doing some bass boat restoration stuff. So if you're new to my channel, I upload new videos every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So hit subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.